Lucky Shot 13 here, and welcome to something brand new on my channel. We are going to be starting a FIFA 17 Manager Career Mode, which is a step in a different direction compared to most of the content on my channel. For the most part, it's been Minecraft, modded Minecraft, things like that. Me playing on the Comrade SMP and different modded series that I've had here and there and everywhere. But I decided that I wanted to bring something completely different to the channel. I mean, even more different than something kind of like maybe an indie game like The Flame and the Flood was. This is something that is certainly more mainstream, and it's just something that I really enjoy playing. So I figured I'd bring that to you to start. So we should probably get squared away, and I'll let you know if you didn't read the title of the video. Of course, it's kind of a spoiler ahead of time, what team we would be taking. We're going to call this series Making Malaga. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pick Malaga. You can see some of their stuff here, what the board expectations are. Medium domestic success, medium brand exposure, high financial, medium youth development. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and select them and make our manager, and we're going to go, let's see, with Mr. and then Lucky Shot 13. So that'll be our manager to start. And the objective of this career mode, if you will be to, I guess, in a way, not so much duplicate the Pellegrini years, if you will, but to surpass them. Okay, we'll pick this face, and I like a tracksuit. That's just me. So Mr. Lucky Shot 13. So here's our manager. Now, of course, legendary, 5 minutes, Euros. I've renamed the stadium. We're going to use current customize because I found if you don't, it will reset the stadium name. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so we are ready to get started here while everything loads up. So Pellegrini took this team to the quarterfinals of the Champions League before getting knocked out. They were consistently competitive. They signed some very famous players, guys like Ruud van Nistelrooy came to play for the club, Rilk Santa Cruz, I believe is Paraguayan. And then you also had, these talents, these emerging Spanish talents come up to the ranks, guys who went on to make big moves to big clubs, guys like Santi Cazorla, Isco, then you had Joaquin who went to Fiorentina. You had a lot of these different moving pieces, players coming up, coming in, going out. And what I want to do is try and bring some of these club legends back to the club, bring in my own players, and make Malaga into, I feel like, the European powerhouse that it always deserved to be, with a manager like Pellegrini, and the financial backing that they got from the Qatari investors. So we're going to go ahead and title this, we're going to shorten it, we're going to say Make Malaga, because I don't feel like typing everything. Okay, and I think what we're going to do in today's episode is go ahead and get a couple of transfers done, check our board expectations, and then we're going to play the first game of the preseason tournament, which will go with the one that's got the most money. So that's this one, 8 million euros we can add to the coffers. And then, okay, so here we are at the main screen. Let's jump right into clearing out our messages, okay? And then we will check out our vision and expectations. So here's our expectations. Youth development is to sign 2 players with potential over 75 to our youth squad, and then increase their overall by 10 points. I think we can do that. Brand exposures, we need to keep a streak of at least 85% attendance in 5 consecutive home matches. I also think we can do that, no problem. That's all about winning games. Financial, we need to reduce player wages by 50,000 a week, and that's high priority. So that'll be interesting to do. That's probably my least favorite goal of anything to do, is to have to reduce wages, because typically that does affect the quality of player you're going to bring in terms of their starting overall. Domestic success, which is medium priority. We are expected to finish mid-table in La Liga, and then we are expected to reach the round of 32 in the Copa da España. Long term, within 2 seasons in La Liga, finish in a EuroLeague spot. Now, for me, finishing in a EuroLeague spot is my goal for this first season. That's where I want to be. I want to be in Europe next year in some capacity. I don't know if we can make a push for the league title this year. I don't know if my skill with this team is up to that high. I haven't used them before in any great capacity. So we'll see how that goes. Next thing we're going to do is figure out who's going to stay and who's going to go. So I've sorted it by position, and we're going to look through here. Of course, we have a few people retiring at contract end. But actually, before we do that, let's do this. This is something I like to do, especially whenever I take over a team like this, is we've got 14 million euros, 85K a week. But what I want to do is I want to bring all of our players that are on loan back from their loans, and then cancel all the loanees that we have in the squad. Okay, that's what I want to do to start. Okay, I just want to see what Malaga's squad is, right? Without the loanees, without the players who are not going to be here next year since they're all on 1-year loans, okay? Now let's take a look. We have 2 players who are retiring, and now we can sort by position. So, of course, Kamini and Ochoa, those keeper 1, keeper 2, no problems there. Aron, he's on an expiring contract. He's 20. It doesn't look like he's going to be that high of potential. We're going to go ahead and put him on the transfer list, okay? Then we have some players here in the center backs. I mean, really, there's no one here to sell. Demichelis is going to retire. Everyone else we're going to need for depth. Now, we come to left back. We have a 30-year-old left back, Miguel Torres. I don't think we need him. Okay, we have Javi Jimenez, who's young, and then we have Rica, who's just 21 years old and already 75 rated. Okay, right back, we're going to keep both of our right backs. In these central midfield positions, I think we're going to let someone like Hesio go, and then line up someone to come in and replace him. Somebody like Gonzalo Castro, of course. He's 31. He's going to go down in his ratings. He's only 76 anyway, which we have players at his position that are already higher rated than him. We're going to go ahead and move him on. Horta, who we can sell, but we're not because he's an exciting prospect. Johnny, who just arrived at the club, so we cannot move him on. Someone like Javi Ontiveros, who shows great potential, but at 70 overall isn't going to be one of the first 2 guys on the team sheet. We're going to go ahead and send him out on loan. Alright, so this is one that might get some people, is Juan Pablo Anor. Now, I know that he has some really good potential, but he is not my kind of player. And for a few reasons. One, he does not accelerate well. I don't so much care about sprint speed. I need someone to reach their top speed quickly. He doesn't accelerate well. He's not strong. Does he have really good technicals? Yes, he does. I understand that. But he's short. He doesn't have a high attacking work rate for a midfielder. That can be a problem if he doesn't. I mean, he has no high work rate. And then 3-star for me. If you're going to be somewhat slow, if you're not going to be incredibly versatile or strong, and you're not going to either attack a lot or defend a lot, you got to at least have 4-star skill moves, something like that, the flare trait or something to make you an attacking force. He doesn't have any of that. So what we're going to do is move Juan Pablo Anor on. Okay, someone like Kuki Salazar also doesn't look like he's got the best potential. He's just 63. We've got to reduce wages. We'll get him out as well. Okay. Then we also have Charles Diaz de Oliveira. We're also going to move him on. He's on an expiring contract anyway. He's 32. He's going to be going down in his ratings. We'll go ahead and move him on. Jack Harper, we'll go ahead and move him on as well. So this will leave us essentially with 3 strikers. We have Yusuf Enesri, who has been called at 6'4", 4-star weak foot striker, fairly quick to be that big. Already good finishing and dribbling for someone who's just 19. He's been called the Moroccan Ibrahimovic. We'll be keeping him around. We might send him on loan year 1. Maybe not. Then we have Mikel Santos, who just arrived from River Plate, and Sandro, the former Barcelona man, who we will also be keeping. Okay? So that's what it looks like going out. Okay, we already know that we're going to have to get some high potential talents, and I see that we already have a 5-star judgment scout. Now, I know he only has 3-star experience, but here's where it matters, okay? Judgment is the level of player that a scout can bring in. So if he has 5-star judgment, he can bring in the absolute high potential, high overall players. Anyone you would want in that regard. Experience determines how well they are at finding a player of a certain type. So let's say you want them to find a playmaker from Argentina. Well, if he only has 3-star experience, he's not going to find a lot of guys that are playmakers. That's what the experience matters. If he had 5-star, then he can find any player you want of any quality. But we're just worried about the quality because we're just going to tell him to scout anyway. And of course, this also saves us a little bit of money since we do not have the biggest financial clout. So for us, he is Greek. But for me, I think to start out, I think we want to find the next big Spanish talent. So we're going to send him to Spain for 9 months. Next is telling the scouts what we want. So the first thing I want them to find is promising young players. We all know to set that one. And then a couple things here that I like to look for. I like to look for first-team quality on expiring contracts, any age, because of course it will reduce their price even if they're not available on a free. And free contracts are wildly abused anyway. And then I like to look for first-team quality, and something specific, whether that's fast or strong or tall. For me, I like tall players. So we're going to look first-team quality for tall players with 3 years on their contract or less, so they're not the most expensive. Okay? So the first thing I want to do is find some players who we might be able to bring in on loan. So we have Gabriel Jesus. He's on $71K a week. Oh, my gracious. Okay, so maybe Gabriel Jesus is not going to be the man for us because we're trying to reduce wages. But hey, it's worth a shot. Okay, so the next player that we have here is Leon Bailey, who I've put on the short list and who I am scouting. And we are going to try and bring him in on loan. You can see he's a squad rotation player, and he's also only on $29K a week. So we're going to try and bring him in on a 1-year loan. Alright, so Leon Bailey and Bayer Leverkusen have accepted our loan offer, so we'll go ahead and bring him in. And this will sort of clog us up here at left midfield for a little bit, but there certainly should be a method to the madness for this. So here we are at the date of our first preseason game, and let's go ahead and check out what our lineup is going to be. We'll pick our uniform. Oh, wow. It's a very interesting uniform, Bordeaux. It's very, very interesting. What if we were our yellow our way and they were their way? That'd be interesting. Okay, so the match is going to be played at Anfield, and we'll take a look at our lineup. Let's see. I think is what we'll do is we'll let Bailey get the start. Okay, and I know that we have Hesio there. That's fine. Kiko, Sandro. I don't want to start Di Michelis. I do want to start Villanueva if I cannot click past everyone. Swift-footed, we'll put him over here. Torres, no. Rica, yes. Okay, so this is what I want the starting lineup to look like here. And then let's fix the bench real quick. Because Kone there, Ochoa is fine. But see, Charles is going to be leaving the club, so we want to get someone else into that spot. Somebody like Orta, I think. Left, who can play on the left and right side. Anor, who is going to be leaving. So what we will do is bring in the real-life club captain, Duda, and put him on the bench for this match. So here we are ready for kickoff. Malaga versus Bordeaux at Anfield in the first match of the preseason tournament, our first game in charge of the club. Oh wow, Bailey gets the ball off of him there. Start. Couldn't keep it though. Try and run Bailey back here. Get it to Camacho. Camacho to Sandro. Sandro's going to get it up to Kiko. I see the runner. Okay, so we find Fornals. Now, Fornals is a really interesting player. He has got some really killer potential from what I hear. So he's a nice young talent for us to have in the team this early. So Bailey doesn't want to make that run. That's interesting. Figure a player like Bailey would just want to get right off on it. We'll chip this over to Rosales. Rosales is on it. I see the man in the middle. We're going to get it to him. Sandro turns. Oh, man. Oh, he's going to put it just wide on that left foot. 4-star weak foot, and that's still what he did. You can see the ball finds him here, and he just turns, and he just, oh, man. He just stabs at it. He just doesn't even get his foot around it at all. He just stabs at the ball. All right, Fornals picks it up here. We got Sandro running in front of him. I'm going to hold it up here. Fornals is going to come in. I'm going to finesse it. Oh, is it a penalty? Oh, it's a penalty. Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. He took us down. I was just trying to finesse it, and I think I got the ball away certainly early enough where whenever the tackle came in, there was just nothing left there for him to win, and he just ends up wiping out Fornals. And we're going to go ahead and win a penalty here, so let's see who's going to take it. Bailey actually has 71 penalties, so he's technically the best penalty taker on our team. So the new signing here, his first match for the club, we're going to try and go top. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, no, the goalkeeper saved it. Oh, no. Oh, we telegraphed it. I absolutely telegraphed where that was going to go, I guess. And the goalkeeper was all over it. He didn't fingertip it. He didn't just barely get to it. He had time to get his whole body in front. I see the run of Sandro. I'm going to try and pick him out. Jovanovic is going to get on the end of that. And I think they're going to clear their lines here. Striker in the middle who just seems to win everything in the air. Definitely giving us a hard time so far. Laborde, no. Hernandez there to block. Not really troubling us with that one. Gonna keep trying to push him out wide. Oh my gracious! Oh, from nothing. Oh, from absolutely nothing. Balai gets it in there for Bordeaux. I mean, I think that's going to be the last kick before halftime. You can see I pushed Laborde outside. I wasn't trying to commit the foul, and Rosales slides in there, and Kamini just no handles at all. Okay, so Duda, Santos, and Johnny are all going to come on. Whew, oh my gracious. So Duda, of course, is he is 36, I believe, an attacking midfielder, but he is also the club captain in real life. So definitely a good idea to bring him on. He has absolutely incredible technical ability, free kicks, passing, crossing, you name it, he can do it. So Santos, get it over here to Johnny. And all I did with Bailey was move him to the right-hand side. Right, it's going to be a corner here for Bordeaux. They're looking for something, anything, to go ahead and put this game away for them. And Toulalon is just going to boot it a mile over. Okay, I think this is going to be our last attack of the game. I've got Bailey with the ball. I've got Hasia looking. I think we were fouled there. They're not going to give it. But Camacho's going to end up here in the box with a left-footed shot. Oh, Bernardoni! Bernardoni with a poor punch that falls right to Mikel Santos, and it's all he has to do is put it on target, the goalkeeper off his line, and that would have beaten the keeper if it's in the right place. And I feel like that's going to be the last kick of the game for us. No, Hasia maybe to Bailey. We're on the attack. And we're going to lose out there. So we're going to lose our first match. At least it's just the preseason tournament. Plenty of time to get it all figured out. But that was just not a good game for us. Not a good game at all. The missed penalty by Bailey, our new signing, and we just did not really generate anything going forward in that game. Transfer offer, we're going to try and offer Hasia for Ruben Neves. And we'll see if that works. I felt like in the last game, Sandro was just too easy to get off the ball. So I'm going to come out and offer 6 million euros for Yusuf Paulson. Just to give us someone who's tall, who's a little better in the air, he can still finish, and he has 4-star skill moves. We brought in Leon Bailey, who of course speed, stamina, a little bit of everything. We're going to try and work on developing him while he's here on loan. And then we also have brought in Paulson, you can see, 6'4", high work rate striker. Oh, they have actually downgraded his skill moves. That's new. They actually downgraded his skill moves to 3. He used to have 4 in the recent. Wow. That must be very recent. I've used him in a different career mode recently. But then you can see here, great acceleration, great sprint speed, stamina, strength. I mean, he can, heading accuracy. He can do it all in the air. Very, very good striker. So, yeah. So there's the squad that we have now. I'll keep working on some transfers. I do want to thank everybody for coming out and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Plenty more FIFA 17 career mode stuff to come in the future of the channel. And come back for some more, alright? So this has been Lucky Shot 13, and I'll see y'all next time.